You are stronger than a caveman. That is what you assume. You live in a world of gyms and protein powder and machines built to make muscle. And behind you stands a species that conquered every corner of the planet. But the real answer is far stranger. You are, by almost every physical measure, one of the weakest humans who has ever lived. Not weak in spirit, weak in the body. Your bones are lighter. Your grip is softer. The animal that carries your name would lose an arm wrestle with almost every human who came before it. And the wild part is that this happened on purpose. Your body was not broken. Your body was redesigned. Let me show you how. Picture a skeleton in a museum. A person from 30,000 years ago standing in a glass case. You look at it and you think, primitive, simple, less than you. But if that skeleton could stand up and shake your hand, it would nearly crush it. Its bones are denser than yours. Its joints are thicker. The places where muscle once anchored are carved deep, like the roots of an old tree. This was a body under constant load. Now here is the question. What changed? A researcher named Habiba Chirchir wanted to know exactly that. She studied the inside of human bone, the spongy honeycomb structure called trabecular bone, across millions of years of our ancestors. She expected a slow, gradual thinning as our bodies evolved. That is not what she found. She found something sudden. For most of human history, our bones stayed dense, thick, heavy with internal scaffolding. And then, almost overnight in evolutionary terms, they hollowed out. The lightweight skeleton you are sitting in right now is not ancient at all. It is one of the newest things about you. The turning point was around 12,000 years ago. The moment your ancestors stopped chasing food and started growing it. Think about what that actually meant. For hundreds of thousands of years, being human meant walking, climbing, carrying, digging, throwing, running down animals over distances that would break most modern athletes. Your body was a tool used every single hour of every single day. Bone is alive, it listens. When you load it, it thickens. When you rest it, it dissolves the parts it no longer needs. Your skeleton is not a fixed frame. It is a running conversation between you and the world you move through. So what happens when that conversation goes quiet? A scientist named Colin Shaw at Cambridge studied the leg bones of ancient people. He compared foragers, the ones who still hunted and gathered, with the farmers who came after them. The difference was stark. The foragers had leg bones that rivaled those of modern elite runners. The farmers, only a few thousand years later, had legs that were noticeably weaker. Same species, same DNA, more or less, different lives. And the bone told the truth about which life was harder on the body. The farming life was, in one narrow sense, easier. And ease is exactly what makes you soft. This is the part that feels backwards. You have been taught that progress makes you better, stronger, more capable. But your bones tell a different story. Every step toward comfort was a step away from raw physical power. The plough, the wheel, the chair, the car, the elevator, the phone that lets you order food to your door without standing up. Each invention removed one more reason for your body to stay strong. And your body, being efficient, let that strength go. Do you see the trade you have made without ever agreeing to it? Because here is the strangest thing. This is not really about laziness. It is about intelligence. Dense, heavy bone costs energy to build and haul around. In a world where you no longer wrestle the ground for survival, that heavy skeleton is a burden, not a gift. Your body reads the environment, sees safety, and quietly stops paying for armor it no longer needs. What looks like weakness is actually your body being smart about a world that finally stopped trying to kill you. But your genes did not get the message that the danger was over. This is what the Harvard biologist Daniel Lieberman calls a mismatch. Your body was sculpted by millions of years of hardship, hunger, and relentless movement. Then, in the blink of an eye, you dropped it into a world of couches and abundance. The design and the environment no longer fit. You carry the instincts of an animal built to struggle inside a life that removed almost all of the struggle. And your body does not know what to do with that. Look at your own hands for a moment. In 2016, a researcher named Elizabeth Fain measured the grip strength of young men and compared it to data from decades earlier. The younger generation gripped weaker, measurably, noticeably weaker than the men who came just before them. Not over thousands of years, over a single lifetime of change. The hands that once split wood and hauled rope and worked the land now mostly tap glass. And the strength drains away because you never ask for it back. So are you doomed? Is this the story of a species going soft until it collapses? No, and this is where it turns again. Because the same rule that made you weak is the rule that can make you strong. Your body did not lose the ability to build dense bone and hard muscle. It only lost the reason. The machinery is still inside you, untouched, waiting. The forager's skeleton is not gone from your genes. It is dormant. Every time you lift something heavy, sprint until your lungs burn, carry a load up a hill, you are speaking your body's oldest language. And your body answers the way it always has. It rebuilds. That is the secret hiding underneath all of this. You were not born weak. You were born unused. Think about what that means. The strength of every ancestor who ever walked before you is not a lost inheritance. It is a dormant one. The blueprint that carried humans across ice ages and oceans and continents is written into you right now in the same cells, waiting for the same signal. Load, effort, struggle. The very things your comfortable world has spent 10,000 years teaching you to avoid. And here is the uncomfortable mirror. The modern world will never demand this from you. It is designed to do the opposite. Every product, every convenience, every clever invention is built to remove effort from your day. The escalator instead of the stairs, the delivery instead of the walk, the notification instead of the quiet. Your environment is a machine for making struggle optional, and your body, faithful and efficient as ever, will always take the easy path unless you choose otherwise. So the strength of your ancestors comes down to a single strange decision. In a world that no longer forces you to be strong, will you choose it anyway? This is why some part of you feels restless, why sitting all day leaves you tired instead of rested, why a hard hike or a heavy lift can make you feel more alive than a week of comfort ever did. That feeling is not random, it is ancient. It is the forager inside you, the one built for movement and load and challenge, quietly asking to be used. Your body is happiest doing the very thing your world tells you to avoid. You are not the finished product of progress. You are an animal that outran its own design. And that changes how you see the museum skeleton, doesn't it? You looked at it and thought primitive, simple, less than you. But it was stronger than you will ever be by accident. It earned that strength through a life you would find brutal. You have been handed something it never had, a choice. The freedom to be soft, or the freedom to reclaim what your ancestors built. So think again about that assumption you started with. You are stronger than a caveman. You have gyms and protein and medicine and a body that inherited the strength of everyone who came before. Everything they had, you still have, sleeping in your cells. The only difference is that they had no choice but to use it, and you do. You are one of the weakest humans who has ever lived, and you are the only one who is ever free to change that.